Next on Worcester News Tonight, a new era for Kelley Square. The famous intersection is days away from its groundbreaking. Plus, a central Massachusetts town steps up its effort to keep people from smoking. A look at what an area hospital is doing to help. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Cam Jandro. It's the beginning of a new era for Worcester's Kelley Square. Construction equipment is all around the notorious intersection, and the state is preparing for the groundbreaking. City and state leaders will gather at the soon-to-open Worcester Public Market Thursday. Mass DOT says they put the project on the fast track once the city announced the PawSox were coming. The project is expected to finish sometime in early 2021, around the same time the ballpark is completed. A Worcester City Councilor is hoping to help ease traffic congestion on city streets. District 1 City Councilor Sean Rose says traffic tie-ups aren't a new problem. He believes a lot of the issue centers around Interstate 290. It's why he's interested in the city partnering with the website Waze. The website can provide data for the city in real time, allowing them to make better decisions.
It could help us with our construction projects. It help us with the development of new buildings. It could help us with, if we're coordinating a construction plan, how to alleviate congestion in certain areas if there's an accident in the moment.
Rose asked the city manager to look into Waze at Tuesday's city council meeting. Worcester breaks ground on more park renovations Tuesday. Crompton Park is getting a $1.4 million upgrade, including 2 new NBA-sized basketball courts. The project also includes new pathways, handicap accessibility, and security features. The new features are expected to be ready in the spring of 2020.
One of the greatest things I saw when I pulled in here was the new playground surface. And what's on top of that playground surface? Dozens and dozens and dozens of kids having a great time on the other side of that hill. That makes it all worthwhile. That's what we love to see.
And everybody knows if you're going to cut your teeth in the basketball world, you got to come down to Crompton Park. Bob Cousy Court.
The city has invested $60 million in its parks over the last 5 years. The House overwhelmingly passes a resolution to recognize the Armenian genocide. Worcester Congressman Jim McGovern helped lead the way. He says the U.S. should stand for human rights. Our Valerie Bell has more.
Worcester is home to one of the largest Armenian communities, and on Tuesday, Congressman Jim McGovern is helping lead the way on a vote in Congress to officially recognize the Armenian genocide. McGovern chairs the House Rules Committee, who voted on the resolution under a closed rule, allowing representatives to vote on it without amendments being added.
This is a dark stain on our human rights record. The United States should stand foursquare for human rights. Anything short of that sends exactly the wrong message to abusers around the globe.
More than 1.5 million Armenians died at the hands of Turkish nationalists during World War I. House Resolution 296 recognizes it as a genocide.
What happened to Armenian was a genocide, and there is no doubt about it, even among American politicians. Republicans, Democrats in Washington, they all know what happened in 1915.
For decades, the U.S. has remained silent on officially recognizing the genocide, keeping its alliance with Turkey. The resolution comes amid strained relations between the two countries.
This Congress must still be capable of speaking with one voice against genocide and crimes against humanity, no matter when they took place.
Taner Açkam is a German-Turkish historian. He says this is not a moral issue, but rather a political interest of the United States to recognize genocide in order to establish peace.
If we really want peace and stability in the Middle East, if we want to Turkey be a democratic country in the Middle East, recognition of Armenian genocide is essential.
In Worcester, Valerie Bell, Worcester News Tonight.
The Worcester County Sheriff's Office is once again taking action to make sure no children are left without a winter coat this year. Sheriff Lou Evangelitis hosted the kickoff to his annual winter coat drive Tuesday, accepting donations at the beer garden downtown. Tito's Vodka is helping the cause by donating $5 for every jacket collected. Evangelitis says they average 3,000 to 4,000 coats every year and says the community plays a big role.
People bring a coat, we're going to get a donation of $5 per coat, up to $2,500 to help us buy more coats to reach the needs of the communities.
One couple in particular went above and beyond, bringing in 350 coats. They spent countless hours collecting them outside of a local restaurant.
We segregated them by gender, and then we put dryer sheets in to keep them fresh. So we're just there on Thursdays and Sundays, and here we are.
And we put everything on Facebook, so we have a lot of friends, and they just shared. So everyone, thank you, because everyone was generous. Friends, family, and those we didn't know. You're going to keep someone warm this year.
The Carbonos say the sheriff was their inspiration to spend the time collecting the coats. A former NASA astronaut lands at the College of the Holy Cross to speak with students Tuesday. Dr. Scott Parazynski is a veteran of 5 space shuttle missions and 7 spacewalks. He's also in the U.S. Astronaut Hall of Fame. Parazynski spoke to students about innovation and leadership and hopes he can use his experiences to motivate others.
There's so many facets of our lives that can benefit from the advances that we're seeing in technology. And so how do we get ahead of those trends and create value for one another? And so I think it'd be really exciting to be a young person right now starting their career, whether it's in a technical field or whether it's in law or education. There are lots of really important things to do in society.
Parazynski says one of his most important messages is people to challenge themselves to do difficult things because the rewards are worth it. A new program in the city aims to help three-decker owners and developers. The Worcester Housing Now initiative will rehab properties with funding and guidance. City leaders say the program will focus on the existing house stock in city neighborhoods. Many of these homes are more than 100 years old. An informational meeting on the Worcester Housing Now program will be held Tuesday, November 12th at City Hall. In September, Worcester City Council unanimously declared a climate emergency in the city, and a resolution at their meeting Tuesday night hopes to fix the city's gas infrastructure. Mayor Joseph Petty placed a resolution on the agenda in support of the Future Act. It would allow the state's municipalities to have a stronger relationship with utility companies to coordinate the repair of gas leaks and incentivize the use of renewable thermal energy sources. The bill would allow the city and its residents to claim property damage from gas leaks and would mandate gas leaks near buildings or trees be repaired within 6 months. There are currently more than 800 unrepaired gas leaks in the city of Worcester, including locations near schools, parks, and playgrounds. A new intercity bus service will offer riders a quick trip from Providence to Woonsocket and Worcester. Boston Surface Railroad Company plans to start offering the service in February of 2020. A fleet of 5 motor coaches are scheduled to run with round trips to and from Worcester daily. The Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce says it will be another option to bring more people into the city.
Rhode Island, is connected to Massachusetts in lots of ways, and Providence, a pretty significant city in New England, so to the extent that we can create connections and make it easier for people to traverse between capital cities and major cities, I think that's generally a good thing.
Train services are also expected to start in the next year or so. The Boston Surface Railroad Company says buses will also serve as a backup for the trains during inclement weather and other issues. An early detection lung cancer screening program will allow doctors at Harrington Hospital to increase public awareness. Scans are offered for high-risk patients, and they want to make sure people are aware of the dangers of smoking. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
At one point, 25% of people in Southbridge were smoking tobacco. The Massachusetts Association of Health Boards says this ratio from 2015 was high, and area health professionals aren't surprised.
The whole central Massachusetts area has the highest incidence of smokers in the state. So, it used to be a factory town, and it's just not at all surprising.
Nurse Jean Camo has seen hundreds of patients at Harrington Hospital's lung cancer screening program. People aged 55 to 77 who smoked for decades take a 5-minute chest scan.
We not only can detect cancer early, we can, if it's any more advanced, we have a whole comprehensive team here at Harrington.
Camo says the tobacco smoker population could have changed with the popularity of vaping. Many of her patients transitioned to vaping, but she says lung health concerns are still there.
A lot of people say, well, I stopped smoking at 60, but I've been vaping. So, you know, it's just a matter of perception, I guess, in their mind. But in my mind, they're still smoking.
Camo says education is the best way to keep people from smoking and vaping. The town of Southbridge is using education initiatives to prevent youth from using drugs, including nicotine.
We're seeing people dying from vaping. So, there's a lot of things that are dangerous, and we have to educate the public.
They're running a week-long campaign and put banners up around town. Town manager Ron Sanangelo hopes the percentages of people who smoke and vape decrease with the younger generation.
We're trying to get people to not start. The best way to stop people from getting addicted or involved in this stuff is to not to start in the first place.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.